Hi guys, welcome back to another video. It is finally that time of year. I think that it is Vlogmas Day 2. I'm filming this one in advance because obviously it's going to be like a week in the life and I'm uploading this in early December. But I believe this is Vlogmas Day 2 and I'm just so excited that this time is finally here. We're going to be reading Christmas books for a week. I do not have any physical Christmas books right now, so we're going to be starting on the Kindle. I may go out and like maybe go to Target or like might just order one on Amazon. For our second book, we're going to read 2 in this video, but we're going to start on Kindle Unlimited with the first one, and I think I've already found what I want to read. It's called Christmas on Fifth Avenue by Julie Kaplan. I'm not going to read the whole synopsis because it's a pretty long one, but it's basically about a girl and a guy who meet in New York City while they're both there for the holidays, and they go from not being very friendly with each other, not really liking each other, to it being a basically like enemies to lovers romance. I love New York, never been, but my dream vacation is to go to New York City, specifically during Christmas. I want to live in New York one day, and so I think that this is going to be really fun. I don't know, I feel like they're gonna go do all the fun things that I want to go do during Christmas in New York, so I hope that this book is really, really good. It's not that popular. It didn't have that many reviews. I'm talking like it had a few hundred reviews on Goodreads, so not super well known, but we're gonna give it a chance. I'm very excited. And yeah, y'all are not here to hear me babble on and on. So let's go ahead and get started, and I hope you guys enjoy the video. I need to know if this is happening to anyone else, because when I downloaded this book on Kindle, I swear on my life it said it was on Kindle Unlimited, and it wasn't. I got the book yesterday, started reading last night, was reading this morning, and then I went through like my bank account today, my bank statement, just to like, you know, make sure everything's looking good. And it said I had like a $2 charge on Kindle, and I was like, that's not right. The only charge I should be seeing on for my Kindle is Kindle Unlimited. Turns out this book was not free. It was actually like 99 cents, and with tax and everything, it turned out to be like $2. So I ended up paying for this book, and I probably would not have read it if I knew that I had to pay for it, but I didn't know. Y'all are kind of slipping over here. So yeah, that's not very fun. It's only $2, so it's okay. But anyway, I'm gonna keep reading it. I'm 13% of the way in, which is chapter 6. And now that I know a little bit more about what the book is about, I can tell y'all. So we have Evie and we have Noah. And these two characters, the book starts out, they met in an airport lounge because they were both flying out of, I think, Heathrow Airport, which I think is London. I think they're both flying to New York for the holidays, and they end up meeting. They end up sitting like close to each other in the lounge, and like they don't really not get along at first, but they're strangers, and it's just like they're like civil with each other. But then they end up sitting next to each other in first class on the plane, and they start like becoming friends, and it's a really long flight, so it's like they're talking, they're becoming really good friends. Then they both find out who the other person actually is. So Noah is a football. For us Americans, I'm talking about soccer, but he is an American living in the UK playing professional football over there, and something happened in his like professional career. Something happened during one of the games to where he's like under fire now, and so they're sending him away to New York to like get away from everything. And then Evie is British. She's just flying to New York because she like won something, but she was also in the news because she basically got canceled for like falling for a scam online and like stealing her roommate's money or something. So they're both in the hot seat right now. Is hot seat the right word? They're both like under fire right now on all the news outlets and stuff. They're like trying to keep their identities hidden, and so they don't really like know that they're each other yet. So they meet in the lounge, they end up getting on the flight, they sit next to each other in first class, and they're friends at first. It's a long flight, obviously, they're flying overseas. They're getting along really well, and then they find out, like she finds out that he's Noah, the one that like ended someone else's career, and he finds out that she's the girl that's all over the news for stealing her roommate's money. And so they ended up getting into a fight. Well, lo and behold, they get off the plane angry at each other, like, I never want to see you again, you're a horrible person. And they end up both staying at the famous Plaza Hotel in New York City, which, if you don't know, the Plaza is in so many movies. Most notably for me, it's Home Alone. They're both staying there. They also end up staying next door to each other. Whenever the bellboys are taking them up to their rooms, they're literally on the 5th floor together, right next door. And that's where I'm at right now. So they kind of went from being like just anyway, that's where I'm at. Literally only 13% of the way in. I'm gonna sit here, put on some Christmas ambiance. I have the Christmas tree lit up. And yeah, we're just gonna keep reading. I'm in bed reading right now. But Noah is out running in Central Park currently, and if y'all have not seen some of my previous videos, I've gotten really into running lately. And he says, I passed a few other runners, all of whom acknowledged me in that running community way with a quick nod. The brief interaction reminded me of the camaraderie and power of sport, the joy of your body working in sync, along with the miracle of the power of muscles, tendons, and bones all coming together. That was like beautifully written. I've been laying on the couch reading for like literally 4 hours. Not reading nonstop for 4 hours, but I've been laying here with the tree on. I have some ambiance on. It's just so nice. So I am exactly 60% of the way into this book. And up until the 50% mark, honestly, I wasn't enjoying it that much. Like, I feel like all of the stuff they were doing in New York was not, it wasn't like Christmas themed at first. They were going and doing the typical tourist stuff, but like stuff you can do all year. So like going to the Edge or going to the Empire State Building, stuff like that. And once we hit the 50% mark, they started to do more Christmassy things, which I'm really liking now. Like they went to one of the big like outdoor Christmas markets, and they went to this like cute Christmas themed restaurant that had like holiday cocktails and stuff. And so like now I'm seeing more of the like specific Christmas New York City stuff. We're also getting more romance now. Noah and Evie, they're starting to like each other, and they've kissed a few times, and they're starting to warm up to each other a lot. And Noah is like tagging along with Evie on all of her like adventures now, and so they're doing everything together, and he's kind of like showing her around. One thing that kind of irks me about this book is the grammar. This book has to be indie published. There's no way it's traditionally published. I keep having to go back and like reread. I keep having to reread like full paragraphs because the run-on sentences are insane. Like it's like 2 paragraphs worth of text that's one sentence, and I'm just like, I get the gist of what she's trying to say, but I'm like, no way. Like, you could have put a comma or a period in there somewhere. Like it's absolutely insane. So I'm just thinking this has to be indie published, because there's no way there was like some big editor going through this and not correcting this stuff. That's one thing that kind of irks me, because it's happening a lot. But I'm enjoying it more now. Still not my favorite. I feel like it is a little bit cheesy, which I expect every holiday book to be a little bit cheesy, just like Hallmark Christmas movies. The only part I'm really enjoying is now that we're seeing like stuff to do in New York City around Christmas, because like I've been saying multiple times, my dream vacation is New York City, but specifically during Christmas. Like it has to be during Christmas. So like it's kind of cool to see all the stuff they're doing, and I feel like I'm like living through this girl, if that makes sense. So yeah, 60% of the way in. I really want to try to get past 70% tonight. It's 9:30 right now. And I want to try to get to like maybe 75% so that I can finish the book tomorrow. We're supposed to get some storms and stuff, so it's gonna be like the perfect day to read. It says there's only 2 hours and 44 minutes left in the book, so I should be able to finish it. But that's what's up. I'm gonna sit here, lay back on the couch, and we will see how far I get tonight. I know my hair probably looks absolutely crazy. I just got back from the gym a little bit ago, but I ended up finishing the book last night, and I have a lot of thoughts on it, because I have already told y'all that there were so many like grammatical errors, and I didn't really love the style of writing either. It was just, there was a lot. I really overall did like the storyline. Like I've also been saying, my dream is to go to New York during Christmas, and so getting to see the characters do all of these things that I want to do in real life was pretty cool. If anything, it just made me want to go to New York more, but I did not connect with any of the characters. Well, I say any, there were really only like 2 characters. Did not connect with any of them, was not invested in their romance at all, did not care about it. And I couldn't get past the grammar stuff. Like the fact that I would have to go back and reread paragraphs so much really, I think, took away from how I enjoyed the book. And I couldn't get past that. So I finished the book last night, but I kind of had to think on like what I was going to rate it. I think I'm going to settle on a 2.75 stars. It wasn't horrible, but it also wasn't great at all. I wouldn't really recommend it if I'm being so honest. This is the first Christmas book I've read this year, but it's probably the least favorite Christmas book I've ever read. I read a lot of really good ones last year, so I need to find another book for the second half of this video. Hopefully one that I actually really like this time. So yeah, that one's gonna be a 2.75 stars. If you want to read it. But I think all of y'all, if you did read it, would see what I was talking about with like just the run-on sentences and stuff and be like, what is going on? I did not go and get a physical book, so we're just gonna have to find something else on my Kindle, which is my Kindle out here? No, it's not. It's in the bedroom. I hope I really find something. I'm gonna like take my time and look through the books so that hopefully I find something I actually like this time. So we're gonna go get my Kindle and do that. I'll just talk to you guys once I find my next book. I know the fan is on, so I'll make this quick, but I started a Christmas book called like Meet Me Under the Northern Lights or something. I started that 2 days ago, and I only got 10% in because I wasn't loving it, and honestly not liking the last Christmas book I read, and then also now that one. I was like in a weird little slump, but I'm trying to find another one right now, and literally I've been scrolling on Kindle Unlimited for like 2 hours and I just cannot find anything. So I thought that I had remembered, if any of y'all know who Carter Sullivan is, I love her on YouTube, she's a big reader. I have remembered that I thought she like suggested a Christmas book recently on the like either Instagram or Fable, and she recommended everyone to read it, and so I went to her Fable and there was a book called Dashing All the Way and she recommended it, and it's on Kindle Unlimited. Also, if this is not a sign, I don't know what is. For those who are watching my other videos besides reading, I'm training for a 5K race right now, which is like 3-point-something miles, but my goal is to run a full marathon one day. This is literally what the first sentence is in the synopsis. It says, after an ex-boyfriend told me I'd never be able to run a half marathon, I did what any logical woman would do. I set out to prove him wrong. I feel like this book's made for me. It said, we're going to pretend like I didn't collapse at the finish line of the race. It's a good thing the hot paramedic caught me before I could fall. It's an even better thing I ran into him at the bar the next night. I'm starting this. My hair is wild because I just got out of the shower, but I needed to give y'all an update because like I talked to y'all, I think I talked to y'all like really fast last night, but I'm reading Dashing All the Way by Chelsea Curto. I got this book from Carter Sullivan. She recommended it because I was having so much trouble getting into the last Christmas book that I was reading, which was Meet Me Under the Northern Lights. I did not like that book, could not get into it. Only got like 10% of the way in, and I was really just like feeling down. I was like, am I in a reading slump right now? Why am I not enjoying these books? And I thought that like it was going to take longer for this video to come out, but I ended up finding this one. Yeah, I'm 22% of the way in. We basically have this girl named Margot, and she was dating this guy named Jeremy, and Jeremy told her she could not run. She wanted to run I think it was a half marathon. She wanted to run a half marathon, and Jeremy, her boyfriend, was like, you can't do that. Girls can't do that. Girls can't do that? Funny. And so she was like, yeah, we're done. And to prove him wrong, she went and she trained and she ran a half marathon. But at the finish line of the half marathon, right after the finish line, she collapsed. And the guy that caught her was a paramedic. And so he took her to the medical tent, and he immediately knew who she was. He was like, you're my son's girlfriend, because he didn't know they broke up yet. So you can see where this is going. This is a spicy age gap ex-boyfriend's dad romance, but she doesn't know who he is, so he's checking her out in the tent, making sure she's all good. They go their separate ways, and then they accidentally run into each other at a bar like the next day again, and they end up hitting it off, and he comes clean to her. He's like, I have to be honest about something, like, I'm your ex-boyfriend's dad. So I think he's 40. He did have Jeremy pretty young. He had him at like 16, so he's not like that much older, but he's 40. She's like 24, I think, so there's like a 16-year age gap. And that's where I'm at right now. They just left the bar together. and they're going home together. So I want to try to make it to like 70% of the way through tonight, because I don't know if this is a novella or not, but it's under 300 pages. So I don't know what like qualifies something being a novella, but this is a shorter book, so I definitely think I could get to like 60 or 70% by the end of the night. It's only 6 p.m. right now. But yeah, that's where I'm at. I'm happy that I'm enjoying this book. I was really feeling down. I was like, this video is not even gonna work because I'm not enjoying any of these books that I'm reading, and I was just feeling really sad. But it's okay because I am enjoying this book. So I'm gonna sit here, keep reading, and I'll talk to you all in a little bit. This book is so spicy. I'm literally like blushing right now. This is I don't even know what this book has to do with Christmas. They're making little Christmas jokes here and there, and I think Christmas is coming up, but holy crap, we're still in the same boat. Margot is still at whatever this guy's name is. I can't even remember what his name is. She's at his house, and he's a paramedic, but on the side he's a audiobook narrator. Like, he literally like does the books that people would listen to on like Spotify or whatever, and he's currently recording a very spicy book, and she's sitting there watching him because like a snowstorm came through, so now she's trapped at his house the next morning, and she's just sitting there listening to him, and she's getting all hot and bothered, and wow. I ended up finishing Dashing all the way while I was out of town for Thanksgiving. I was in the Dallas-Fort Worth area, and I finished it while I was at my dad's house. So that's why I didn't talk to y'all while I was there. I was just like with family and stuff, but ended up finishing that. Don't know how I felt about it. I feel like this video was almost a fail because I didn't love the first book that I read. What was it? Christmas on Fifth Avenue. Didn't love that book. This book was better. Okay, I will say this book was better, but I feel like it wasn't very Christmassy. It wasn't. Yes, it took place like around Christmas, and yes, like there were a few Christmas scenes here and there, but I feel like it wasn't focused around Christmas, and I'm used to my Christmas books focusing around Christmas. This one focused on that age gap romance, which was fine. Like, it was still, I feel like y'all are crooked. It was still really good. Not really good. It was good, not really good. But I just feel like there could have been like more Christmas components in it. So I feel like I almost cheated. Like, this wasn't even a real Christmas book. I think I'm going to give this a 3-star. I really feel like this video was a fail. I didn't love either of the books that I read. I feel like this is the worst year for Christmas books for me so far. I really need to find one that I enjoy. Last year was such a good reading year for me for Christmas books, so I'm just like kind of bummed out. What did I rate the first book? 2.5 or 2.75, and this one's 3 stars. That's sad. That is so sad. Yeah, I don't know. This book was pretty good if you like age gap romances. This one was really good. This is like probably one of the biggest age gap romances I've ever read, in terms of it not being like supernatural things where they're like hundreds or thousands of years apart, you know? But two humans that are like 16 years apart, it was pretty good. Like I said earlier in one of the other earlier clips, one of the spiciest books I've ever read. There was a lot in this book, so just know that. It almost turned me off of the book. Like, I like spice, but this was a lot. And yeah, I don't know, it was cute, but nothing that I'll probably think about again or like want to read again. Going back to what I said about there not being a lot of like Christmas components in it, it was more so about the running and the age gap romance, which I still did like, and I think that's why I liked it. I feel like if I wasn't in my running phase where I'm training for a 5K right now, I feel like I wouldn't have liked this book this much, but I did. So yeah, 3 stars for that, and that's gonna be the end of this video. I need to take a break from reading Christmas books. I need to go read like a normal book, like a fantasy book or something. And I'm gonna be doing some hard research on a good Christmas book that I can read next, because I feel very disappointed so far this year with what I've read Christmas book wise. Yeah, kind of a fail. But I hope you guys still enjoyed this video anyway. If y'all have any recommendations for any really good Christmas books that you want me to read, preferably on Kindle Unlimited. I don't love buying physical copies of Christmas books because a lot of the time they are hit or miss like this. Like if I had bought the physical copies of these books and then ended up rating them what I did, I would be like, really? Like I'd probably end up just like donating or selling the books. So I really prefer to read holiday books on my Kindle. So leave some recommendations down below, and let me know what you think I should read next. I'll probably do another video that comes out in like a week or two of reading like more Christmas books for a week. So hopefully we'll find something. But I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I love you guys so much. I'll see you in the next video.